appreciate that. All right, everybody. Welcome to my motivational seminar. My name's Cody Miller, and I just want to thank you guys all for each and every one of you showing up today and coming to watch my presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Well, my topic's going to be about never giving up, and my goal by the end of this is to want you to never give up, at least go ahead and overthink things to try to make yourself never want to give up. And just kind of give you guys a little starter. I'm going to remind you of my story, as I said before. I played baseball throughout my whole life. Loved the sport, loved the game, everything about it. And my sophomore year of high school, I was told that I was never going to play baseball again. But I didn't want to take that as the only takeaway from it. I wanted to prove that doctor wrong, regardless of how the place looked. You know, the bearded lady, the man with the armpit juice coming out. He still had his PhD. He was still a doctor. He still knew somewhat, I guess, what he was talking about. But I never gave up. Kept playing. I went through months of therapy. Went to practices every day, was unable to practice. I had to sit there and watch all of them. Couldn't work out, couldn't do anything. But I never gave up that dream, and I kept strong and stayed with it until eventually I was finally able to play at the end of that season and actually help my team move on in districts.
Woohoo!
Thank you. All right, just a little survey I did. I found this remarkably overwhelming at the fact that out of 30 people, 29 people said they gave up on something like extreme in their life, whether that be a sport, whether that be something they're passionate about, a hobby, painting, fitness. For some people, maybe just thought it was too much. Only one person never gave up. Don't know if I quite believe that, because we all do give up, whether it's small or big. But I mean, that just goes to show you, just right now, out of 30 people, like double the classroom right now, everyone has given up besides one person. Just give you like what that means. So the reason why a lot of people give up is because they don't set a goal. They don't set obtainable goals to reach that end goal, the major one at the end. Everyone just wants to rush right towards it and get the success right away. A friend over here, enjoys fitness, wants to get physically fit, and has succeeding in that, and she didn't do it overnight. She was able to set goals and reach each one of those goals, and then when you reach one, you kind of feel good about yourself. You get yourself, uplifted, your spirits are high, you're not putting yourself down because you're able to set those goals and reach them more easily than you can going right for the main one. The second biggest reason why I think we all fail is we surround ourselves by negative people who aren't helping our goals. I like everyone real quick, just close your eyes. Think of someone in your life who you hang out with a lot, whether it be parental guidance or friends. All right, everyone have that person?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now do you resemble any traits like that they have?
Yeah.
Yeah, you all do that? All right, so when we hang out with people, we start to take what they have. We start doing things they do, say things they do, and that reflects onto us. Now, like if you're hanging out with a bunch of negative people, you're just going to be negative all the time. You're never going to do anything just because they're not doing anything. So you want to surround yourself with positive people who have life goals, who want to achieve things like that, and just who never want to give up as well. Little example, a drug addict. A drug addict, who does drug addicts hang out with? More drug addicts. What happens to them? They continue to be drug addicts. No one ever leaves the drug addict circle because that is all they are surrounded by. They are surrounded by a positive person, a sponsor, someone who wants to help them lift out of that negativity, then that person will end up being successful and getting out of their little drug addiction. All right? And just if that doesn't make it more clear to you, I'll go ahead and demonstrate some famous people who actually have gone through a lot and still never gave up and actually succeeded in what they did. For example, a friend over here brought that up earlier, Michael Jordan, okay? Everyone knows Michael Jordan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, greatest basketball player in history, arguably right now. Steph Curry could be taking that over, but this man was actually cut from his high school basketball team.
Wow.
He was cut. He didn't even make the team.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't even make his high school basketball team. And look at him now.
Yeah.
He's best basketball player in history.
Night plays golf.
That is true. And this one we all better know. Thomas Edison, creator of the light bulb, he failed 10,000 times at creating that light bulb, okay? Like, just didn't succeed at all. Didn't even get close. The light bulb never came on 10,000 times. Now, I'd probably stop at 10,000, or maybe 1,000, who knows. But, I mean, he never gave up. He kept on going, and he ended up being able to create the light bulb, which all of us use today. And one thing he said that kind of stuck out to me was when someone asked him, you know, how come you kept trying and stuff, and, you know, he said he's never given up, and that he kind of made a little joke, and he said, now I know 9,999 ways a light bulb will not work. The next man, my personal favorite. Again, if you have not watched 42, please watch 42.
Yeah, that's a
great
awesome movie.
Learn a lot about history and baseball as well. He, to me, went over the biggest obstacle anybody can go over with. Nobody liked him when he wanted to play baseball. All he wanted to do was play baseball, but unfortunately there was many people in his way that wanted to make sure that didn't happen. He would go into stadiums packed with people who hated him, who did not want him to be there. Umpires would make things unfair for him. They'd make sure no matter what, he was always out. He never got hits and stuff. But luckily, you know, he never gave up. He started to make friends, people that believed in him, people that believed in what he was trying to do, and they ended up helping him succeed because he never gave up. We were able to play baseball now with a lot of diversity. The next man, I wanted to do this for Mr. Coker just because he is such a great speaker. Okay, Steve Jobs. Now, Steve Jobs, excellent person, and truly the definition of never giving up. He founded Apple, okay, and he was kicked out of his own company, a company he created, he was kicked out of. Now that just seems totally unfair, and a lot of us today might just be like, screw it, I'm done with the world, I'm done with life, I'm getting kicked out of my own company, I don't want to continue living anymore. But he persevered, he pushed through it, got back into his own company, and, you know, died working for them and being successful. The last thing I want to talk about is this little 40% rule. All right, it's actually from the Navy SEALs. Jesse Itzler, entrepreneur, businessman, successful businessman, loves to run ultrathons. This is more towards if you're wanting to get like physically fit or something, but I mean it could work towards other areas as well. 40% rule. When you feel like giving up and you feel like your body's hit a wall, you can't continue anymore, you can't finish school, you can't finish a workout or anything, when your body's telling you that, you're actually only 40% done. You still have 60% of energy left. And this was proven by Jesse Itzler. He had a Navy SEAL actually come in and live with him, and he told him to do workouts and stuff, and he was done after 10 pull-ups, but then the guy said, we're not going to leave here until you do 100 more. And even though it took, you know, probably the rest of the day, he was still able to get it done because he still had that 60% left in his reserve tank. So no matter what, never give up, push through it. You know you still have a lot of time left and a lot of energy left. The last thing I want to leave you guys with is, could you be next? Okay? She could be the next bodybuilder, the next fitness model. We had another person in here who wants to be an astronaut. Sorry he had to leave, he had somewhere he had to be. But he could be the next astronaut if he wants to persevere and push through everything so he could achieve his goals. And I want each and every one of you guys to just think about what you could be if you never gave up.